everybody, I'm Mac and Magic, and we're gonna talk about Quicksilver because I read it. I actually adored it. It's really hard for me to not enjoy books, so I'm not really that shocked by it, especially fantasy romance. I've been into fantasy romance since I was a teenager. I have fully come to terms with it. That is what I was drawn to ever since I read Twilight. So, yeah, probably not the best one to start with, but now I have a little bit of, basis to be like, not that. We're okay, not that. But I did read Quicksilver. I read it in probably about a week, and I just devoured it. Part of it was because I was doing the drinks for our midnight release party that I had at work, so I had to kind of know what I was doing, and I wanted to do it for the fans of the book that were coming to buy Brimstone from us so that we could just, I don't know, enjoy it. It was fun. It was really, really fun to actually partake in that. I dressed up and everything. It is fae. It is magic. It is very much romance. It's pretty quick in the beginning, and I don't hate that. I know some people have issues with that. They want it to be slow burn. They want it to be yearning. This is not that. This is definitely, like, we knew it was coming. We could see it. It feels like a flip of a switch, and I usually don't have issues with that. I will say, the one thing that did surprise me that I was very genuinely happy about was the fact that the fantasy takes a lot of the time in this book. It's not just the romance. Yeah, it's pieces of it, but the world building is really nice, so it kind of builds upon itself slowly, and then all of a sudden just goes shwoo, like a roller coaster. You just immediately feel like, oh god, we're gonna see so much more of this. And at first, when I was finishing it up, I was texting my friends and I was like, okay, this is gonna turn into what I think it does, because my friends had already read it. And I was like, I think it's gonna be this. I thought it was going to be something like, oh, they end up not being able to be together, or they get separated somehow, exactly like ACOTAR, which I did finish over the summer, so I can compare it. And it took a completely different direction, and I loved that. Absolutely loved that. So I really do think Brimstone is going to be really interesting. Unfortunately, I don't like the hardcovers. The dust jackets. The book itself is gorgeous. It has the nice the silvery pages. I'm a sucker for a pretty book.
Beautiful.
But it's cheesy. I like him. I like him and his little silver tear that he has. And thinking back on it, there's the butterflies on the cover. That's a really, really cool little Easter egg to be able to see on the cover. His tattoos. I'm usually not a big fan of people on the cover that look like real people. I'm way more into the more cartoony ones, of course. But this was actually very well done. So I'm hoping that Brimstone will be very similar to this. Maybe show her on the cover. I don't know. The way I kind of choose whether or not I absolutely adored a book is whether or not I would get a special edition of it. And I think simply because I opted out of getting both a signed edition and both of the hardcovers since I had the paperback, and I'm willing to wait, I'm thinking this isn't one that I'm willing to get a deluxe edition of. Maybe later down the line when I'm like, okay, possibly. But honestly, I've very much realized I am much more of a paperback girly. I think hardcovers are really annoying, which sucks because there's a book I'm reading right now that is in hardcover, and I only have the hardcover because it's pretty, and I have to take it on a trip, and I'm just so worried about it. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be so heavy in my bag. Not as heavy as TCC. Those books are huge. Not as heavy as the paperbacks of Way of Kings. Those are also huge. At some point I'll get to them. Maybe.
Yes, no.
But truly, if you liked ACOTAR, but you wanted something with a little more substance to it, you can tell that the characters have a little bit more filling them out, I think you should read Quicksilver, for sure. It has the romance, it has the cute, sexy moments, I guess. Those two words totally went together, yeah. She did write a very compelling world, and compelling characters that I really hope get built upon in the sequel. I had a friend who read it, so he said he finished the book Quicksilver on a Friday and then finished Brimstone on Sunday. I guess the one thing that I would warn people of is that the main character is definitely like a general female main character in a fantasy story. She's very tough, very, I am going to just do what I need to do to survive, to have my brother survive, to just, I'm not going to take shit from anyone, basically. And a lot of female main characters tend to be like that, and they soften up because the male main character decides to come in and he's like, ooh, yay. Like, and there's of course the fae things that are kind of annoying to me now, which are like, they say fae males and fae females, and it's just like, I don't think you need to do that necessarily. So if that bothers you, if a female main character that is very much kind of like the cookie cutter female main characters of romance fantasy annoy you, then likely not the book for you. I am never really too annoyed by it. I can just kind of skim over it and be like, ah, okay. Like, I'll critically think about it for a second, then be like, I'm just gonna keep reading because I'm actually enjoying this. There are definitely characters that annoy me, like Hurricane Wars. I literally did not feel anything for the main character at about 100 pages in, and I was just like, I'm not gonna waste my time with this. No offense. This is not, I'm gonna DNF this and move on to the next romance fantasy that I can read. And I'm someone who loves Raylo fanfiction, so it should be down my alley, and it wasn't. But the way I describe it to people is, hey, you like ACOTAR, you want something a little different, but also along the same, it gives you the same vibes then Quicksilver would be for you. Not to mention, I do actually love the magic system. I totally forgot. There is a magic system in this, and it's all based around metals, which kind of gives me Mistborn vibes. And I just like the fact that they kind of develop it over time because she is the only one. There is no other information about who she is, what she can do, and why she can do it, and in the Fae world that she ends up falling herself in. And so it's really cool to see them discovering that as they go along. I really like discovering things. If you haven't watched my video on Project Hail Mary, there's a reason I liked it. I liked the discovery bits of it. It definitely felt like it was something where I was like, ooh, I'm getting little rewards. I'm getting little rewards for this. I liked it. The fighting scenes are meh. They're not fantastic. They're not awful. I kind of was like, okay, this is happening. It's in my head, and then moved on into the next phase of the book. So I really think the pieces that caught me were the in-between bits, where it's not necessarily the fighting, it's not the action, kind of the magic discovery pieces, kind of the romance, but like the in-betweens, the little things. That's what I really, really enjoyed about Quicksilver. So let me know if you've read it in the comments or why you are not reading it. All points are valid. I will accept everything. If you really enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, and you should subscribe if you want to see more content from me. That would be amazing. It's free. It just takes the click of a button. So I will see you all next time in my next video. Bye, friends.